I connect a lot of people between each other, and next to that, I'm also an online business coach, where I help CEOs help to grow their company. For today, I would like to take one of my companies, one of the companies where I participate in, and that is Nieuwbouw Online. And I will give a bit of background of Nieuwbouw Online. Nieuwbouw Online is a company where consumers can find new real estate or new houses they want to buy. And on the platform is active in 70 cities in the Netherlands, and on that platform, consumer can leave their data, like their profile and their wishes, how they want to live, and what kind of house they want to buy. And the brokers, the real estate agents, they put on the projects which will come to the market soon. They will place it on the platform, and when there's a match between the consumer's wishes and the potential new build real estate, then they can subscribe and opt in for a new house. Because it's an international event, it's also good to mention that we have a very international software development team. Partly we have, of course, some Dutch programmers, but we also have programmers from Bulgaria and Tunisia. And in the past, we also had trainees from Brazil and Cameroon and Russia and several other countries. And the last 2 years, we started not only to work with trainees, but also with people who really hire. So we have now around 15 people, 15 employees, and the largest part are developers, software developers from especially Europe and north of Africa. And we also have a team in Poland, which is connected to our company. And working with those internationals really helped us grow our company and really helped us solve the resource problem, because it was for us very difficult to find software developers in the north of the Netherlands. And it helped us to grow our software development level, the level where we work at. So we raised our standards in our company. So I would like to share a bit more, how do you grow a SaaS or platform company? I know a lot of SaaS and platform company owners, and they most of the time they are struggling with, how can I grow my company? And I have a simple model for that, which I would like to share. That is that you integrate your sales with online marketing and IT, and it's like a triangle. What I see is that online marketing is a very big part of the strategy, how to grow your SaaS or platform business. But what I see is that online marketing doesn't have always has the right data. So it's the task of the developers or the IT department to not only to register everything or log everything in the data, but also build triggers to fuel the online marketing department. So I will give you an example later. And for online marketing, they have to fuel the sales department. So, for example, and they have to collaborate. So, for example, when the online marketer wants to send an email newsletter to the newsletter database, then and you are and you have a sales department, then it's then you have to inform sales a few days before that you're going to send out an email newsletter, so they can reserve a day after the email newsletter has been sent to discuss, hey, which newsletter subscribers opened the newsletter, and who, based on the data, which newsletter openers are most possible interesting for becoming a client. So and back, sales has to register the sales calls, of course, and enrich the data in the IT system. So what I want to say is that if you want to grow and scale your SaaS company, you have to integrate sales, data, and online marketing. And that's what we do here. and that's also what we do with other companies. So I give this example of how to integrate your sales and online marketing department, and the biggest part, the largest thing is you have to have an inbound marketing strategy. And I see it's still in Dutch here. I've removed it. You have to have an inbound marketing strategy where you give something for free, for example, a PDF or white paper or a free training, and that's the first step to connect with your potential client. And I see that a lot of companies don't have an inbound marketing strategy, and I think it's fundamental to have an inbound marketing strategy when you want to grow your SaaS or platform business. So you give something for free, and in exchange for a name and email address, and from there you start to build your relationship. Then the last thing, of course, what I recommend is that a lot of companies who start here in the Netherlands, they focus on the Dutch market and they step into the international game a bit too late. So I recommend to translate the website in multiple languages, and also make the software ready enough that you can handle more than one language from the bottom up. So when you start developing your software, make it possible to internationalize that software in the future. And take your website to a high level every day based on data, based on your analytics. And again, my recommendation is to build an international team with software developers, because it's so much easier to connect with developers in other countries, and it's easier to it's fundamental when you want to sell your company in the future to an international company, and you already have an international team. You're more attractive to international buyers. So there were a few steps for me to scale up your SaaS company, and I would like to give the words to Gijs. Or maybe Gijs, maybe you have some questions so far. It's also possible.
First of all, thanks, Alex, for your presentation, and really cool to hear about the triangle that you talked about. Something that's really familiar to me and probably all the people that are working on SaaS platforms. One question I have for you is it like you stated the benefits of growing an international company? Are there also some difficulties that you run into
when it comes to
hiring an international team? Challenges that you have to encounter.
Yeah, a good question. In the beginning we didn't have the E&D sponsorship, and I realized too late that it's an important part to hire people from outside the EU, and I realized it was not that difficult to get that sponsorship. So my biggest recommendation is that go to work as quickly as possible to get that sponsorship, because when you have a trainee from outside the EU, you don't need that sponsorship. But when you want to hire the trainee, you need that sponsorship. And if you realize that you want to hire that trainee, maybe then his permit will end. So you want to be prepared. So if you want to hire international talent, you want to be prepared. And the first step is you can start working with a company like ISEC to get international trainees to your company, and make the first step of internationalize your company.
Cool, clear answer. I remember when we started hiring people from outside the EU, we also had to go through a lot of paperwork in order to become an erkend referent, and that was indeed quite a hassle, especially for a growing company for which the P&L isn't always as positive as it could be. That is something that not everybody understands. So to become a erkend referent, you have to give a future for the people that you hire, obviously. But that's definitely quite a hassle. But once you have it, then you open a new world of possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're right. There's if your profit and loss isn't looking really good, the E&D outsources it to RVO, so they will review the application. And I remember I was sending 18 attachments to E&D, so I had to prepare. But honestly, other people have prepared it for me, so that made it a bit easier. But I remember it was it's a bit paperwork, but. It was just one email of 18 attachments and no questions after that. So that was good.
That's pretty good. That's actually quite the same what I remember as well. I didn't do the application myself either, but I know who did, and I know he was quite grumpy while being processed. But once we had it again, it opened a lot of possibilities. So you didn't have to limit your search for new talent just within the EU or just within the Netherlands even, which is enriching.
How long do you have it now?
2 or 3 years, I believe. 2 years, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. And before that, well, obviously we didn't. We did grow an international company quite quickly, or started growing an international company with people from outside the Netherlands, actually from the bat. But it just lasted a couple of years before we actually found somebody that we wanted to hire that was from outside the EU. So then it became relevant to start to apply for it.
Yeah. How many internationals do you have now?
It's a good question. I'll dive into it a little bit later as well when I'm doing my my talk. What I do know is that we have at the moment 10 different nationalities in the team. So that's pretty cool. At least that's what I think is pretty cool. We're not actually targeting only to have people from different nationalities as a goal, but what I said before, it's cool to broaden the possibilities when hiring people not just from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
What about you? You mentioned it. You had at the moment 2 or 3 people from outside the EU.
Yeah.
That's
3 now. Yep.
3, and that's with Nieuwbouw Online. Or okay. I know you from having worked on other companies as well. 15 seems to be like a number of employees which you can handle with an organizational structure that is still quite implicit. Once you start growing bigger, is there what are the tricks of the trade to grow a company and still stay stable, and how did you do that?
Yeah, for the software company is that we split up in more different teams, and the role of the CTO is changing. In the past, the CTO works; he has to stay up front with working out all the user stories kind of things, and you see that we have. That you have to split it up in different teams. So that's what we did, and during that process, you're also raising the level of the, for example, the software quality when it comes to software testing. So the teams are getting bigger, and you have more teams. That's how we did it.
Cool. I see a question coming in from the audience as well.
Yeah, Goodwin. Obviously, reaching critical mass is the objective of any platform strategy. Any pearls in deciding and joining an existent one or building one's own? So if I got it right, is do you want to join a platform or build your own platform? Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In our case. When you're small, we started to build our platform here for real estate, and in the beginning we made use of several software packages. For example, ActiveCampaign for our email marketing. But at the end, we decided to also build and integrate that in our software. Sometimes we saw a software package like process street, great software. We wanted to use it, but in the end, we used the APIs, etc. But it was not stable enough. So I think in the end, when you really want to build a platform, you have to build everything. And maybe, of course, we use external services, but when it are critical parts, you want to integrate and make it part of your own platform. That's my experience so far. How's it for you, Gijs?
Quite the same. Everything that is at your core, at the core of what you do, you have to build yourself. You have to be in control of the platform that you build, and the way you communicate with your audience. Everything that's not the core of what you do, buy it, because there's great software out there. So that's kind of the rule that we apply. That having said, we have a development team which is great and very fast and very good at what they do. So and what they like best is build instead of buy. So sometimes you have to stop them and say, well, maybe this is not the core. Maybe this is not what we have to focus on. Let's focus on the core of what we do and make that great and own it.
Yeah, my experience is that you really need to have a very great roadmap, and we divided our roadmap in shiny, beautiful things and non-shiny things. So we mix them. So we keep the users happy, and we keep our platform stable and rich of functionality. So, and we did introduce something else. Is because software developers like to code. And if you ask something, they will build it for you, and they will build it beautifully. But that will take a lot of time. So we made a difference between the level the grade we would like to have, A, B, or C. So we really can ask our team, okay, we really want to have this piece of software, but you may build it in C level because it's non-critical, and if it breaks, we'll fix it. It will come up via support, and by introducing these grades or software level, we are able to plan much better and don't waste too much time on non-critical, not really important software parts. So that's how we did that. So we have shiny parts, non-shiny parts, and we have the level of afwerking of the level of the software.
Yeah.
So that's
nice, very nice.
Because of the time, I think you have to start your presentation.
Good idea. Time is flying. I think so as well. Everybody can stick around. We will add another half an hour. So again, thanks, Alex, for your talk about Nieuwbouw Online. I think I learned a thing or two again, and I saw a lot of things that aligned with the company I'm working on. Today I'm going to talk to you about the ins and outs of building an international music platform. Not just a musical platform, but one that rocks, and that rocks hard. But before I start my presentation, I would like to ask you a question. I don't see you, so that feels a little bit anonymous. So I would like to start with a little poll. It's a very simple question. You can answer it with a yes or a no. And the question goes as follows. Do you play a musical instrument, or have you done so in the past? So the poll is open right now. You can, I think you see the poll. Yeah, there you go.
Below.
Below, it's the poll is below, and I see a lot of answers coming in already. Great stuff. This is working. Nice. So, oh wow. I'm not going to wait for everybody to reply. So there are five more seconds to reply. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That's incredible. 14 people, or 77.8%, that's 3/4 of this group, has played a musical instrument or is doing this in the past. And this makes you a above average musical audience, which is a cool thing, because I'm going to talk about music today. Because did you know that 1 in 10 people on this planet, that's around 700 million people, play a musical instrument, and a much larger group would love to learn how to play this musical instrument. But the problem is that for the majority of these musicians, that they have great difficulties to figuring out how to play along with their favorite music. And Chordify helps with that. And Chordify is the platform that I'm working on. My name is Gijs Bekenkamp, and I am one of the founders of Chordify. Chordify is an online music service founded here in Groningen that automatically transforms music into chords. With this piece of technology, we make it possible for beginning and more advanced musicians to play along with their favorite music. And that's exactly what we aim for. We want the world to live its music. I'm going to tell a short personal story, including how Chordify became the international company that we are today, and I'm going to finish with why we do what we do and what are the core values and the culture that we strive for. And if we have some time, we can answer some more questions if there are any. So back in the 90s, it's a while ago, Kurt Cobain was still alive. I played in a band in Groningen, and this band was called Chordify. And with our gigs, we made the north of the Netherlands unsafe with many illustrious performances. Nobody really liked the music, I think, and probably I didn't like it myself that much. But what it did create was true friendships. The group of people I played along with in this band, I played along with them around 10 years in this band, and I created friendships with the people that I still consider my closest friends. One of these guys, the piano player, was actually a witness at my marriage last year, and one of the other band members was the guitar player of the band. I started this very cool platform, it's a SaaS platform, and it's called Chordify, stuff that I'm working on every day. Back in 2012, Bas de Haas, that's the guitarist of Chordify, he finished his PhD, or he was in the process to finish his PhD in music information retrieval at the University of Utrecht. And one particular chapter about audio recognition had this commercial ring to it. And what he did was gather a team of experts, but also a team of friends around him that had a different expertise than he had, to see whether we could grow a company out of this piece of text. That's what we did. We put science into practice. The founders, we were with 5 people. We gathered during weekends in Groningen or at Baashelm in Utrecht, and during pizza and beer-fueled hackathons, we started crafting the first version of Chordify. Ben Frost was blaring in the background, and other great musicians provided us with the soundtrack of what we made there. Coding, hacking, and designing until the early mornings. And we didn't only create the first version of Chordify as we know it today, but along came also a special kind of team spirit and a special kind of culture, a value that we managed to persevere in our company until today. The Chordify website was officially launched during the 2013 edition of Eurosonic Noorderslag. And to mark this moment, we organized a very loud performance of the Pace Shifters on the balcony of the Grote Markt here in Groningen, while police cars drove by and the front man of the Pace Shifters shouting at the police and stage managers of the official program complaining about the noise we made. We gathered our first audience. And that was the start of an intense period of traveling and pitching and lobbying. And it's a hard job, but somebody had to do it, and well, I was happy to do it. We presented Chordify at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, the Next Web Conference in New York, Music Hack Days in Paris, that translates in Dublin, New York. We won several prizes in San Francisco and New York, and also gathered a handful of nominations and prizes in the Netherlands. It was still a side project, but we noticed that it started to become a little bit more serious. Timon, one of the other founders, quit his job, and the others soon followed him in making Chordify our #1 occupation. And after a successful crowdfunding campaign back in 2016, we finally had found enough courage to really expand the team and hit the growth button. One of the many benefits that you have when expanding a team is that you can build it around your world vision, so to say. So what we wanted to do is build a international team with a lot of different nationalities, becoming pluriform and diverse. And when people from all different backgrounds come together, I think you can bring together a lot of different perspectives and worldviews, and this brings more innovation, more productivity, and ultimately a more profitable business. So fast forward today, I realize that time is going very quickly. We have grown a team of well over 40 people at the moment, working in 5 different countries, 2 offices here, main offices here in the Netherlands, one in Groningen, one in Utrecht, and 4 satellites in Germany, Bulgaria, USA, and Sweden. And we have a team with 10 different nationalities. And this year we have projected that we will further grow our team with another 10 to 15 people. On our website, you can actually go all the way to the button, you find the jobs tab. You can find the vacancies that are open today. We reach millions of people every month on our platform from literally every country in the world, including North Korea and Vatican. I just checked it for this before this meeting. There was 1 person from North Korea and 1 person from Vatican City, and I can only imagine who these were. So I think Kim Jong-un and the Pope have been playing along with their favorite songs last month. And our users have spent a total of 1.4 million hours on our platform in January alone. So that's 45,000 hours per day that people leave their music on Chordify, and this is something I am incredibly proud of. Because at the core, we know that everybody is a musician, and the only thing that they have to do is to start playing. That's my little talk for today. If there are any questions, or maybe Alex, you have a question or something that you want to add, please go ahead.
Yeah, we're always curious when it comes to growth. What was the biggest needle move, or what changed everything for you? Because you did so many things. I know you worked so hard, very hard. I remember the first conversation in 2016, 17. I know it was funding. It was living on the edge. I really remember that. And a bit few years later, and now you're here. So what was the biggest thing?
The biggest thing. 2 things. One was, and that was already back in 2016, a great SEO strategy, search engine optimization strategy. We had this incredible flying wheel going on. Every time a person comes to our website and plays along with the song, a new page is created. This page is indexed by Google, and if somebody else on the other side of the planet searches for chords of a song, they find Chordify, go to our page, maybe play along with another song, a new page is indexed, or new page is created and indexed by Google. This flying wheel is continuously growing. Probably at the moment we have 10 million indexed pages of different songs, and that's incredibly powerful. So that's a powerful flying wheel. One of the other things is actually more a realization of what we are. It sounds a bit vague maybe, but for a long time we have been a platform, a friendships platform, a cool thing that we wanted to build together. And instead of just keeping and seeing it as a product, we started to see it as a company. And with that came a growth mindset, which is something quite a bit different. So we're continuously iterative, trying to improve the user experience instead of just trying to think of the coolest features that you can implement.
Yeah, so you felt in love of the company instead of the product.
It's a bit of both. Like music is still at the core, and our users obviously are at the core. But actually, you are right. Like we were in love with the product, and that's why we continued building cool features that we thought were cool instead of building features or improvements of the customer journey that our customers actually wanted to see.
Yeah, it's the well-known feature trap.
Yes,
feature creep, as we know.
We almost fell in it.
It's 15:47. I don't know if there are any questions, but I don't know how it works. But maybe we are kicked out of the room. But as long as we're online, we can answer questions, of course. But, any more questions?
I think that's it then.
Yeah.
Again, Alex, thank you very much, and everybody who was here, thanks for joining us. It has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you too. And you can find us both on LinkedIn. So have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.